Broke my ankle yesterday. I was on a ladder putting up siding. The piece started to fall because it was a full length piece, 12 feet. It started to fall, so I tried to reach out and grab it, but there was no ladder there. And then so I fell with it. And then when my foot landed, it was on uneven ground. So my ankle went this way real fast, and then this way real fast. And then I toppled over. My name is Tim. I create videos that shed light on the absurdities of modern society, as well as highlight humanity's creativity, resilience, and compassion. I believe we need to start publicly acknowledging that capitalism is doing more harm than good. It's important that we talk about sustainable and ethical alternatives, not on the sidelines, but in the mainstream. If you doubt that this will ever happen, I ask that you consider that your very doubt is a reflection of how insidiously controlling our system is. How healthy is it to be so resistant to change that you'd rather tolerate endless violence than even discuss it? This is a touchy subject and my style may not be for everyone, but if my videos do resonate with you, please leave a like. There's like more and more YouTubers who are posting this conscious creator stuff, which I have gotten into a little bit. Past the skepticism, there's some nuggets of truth to it, absolutely. Like, the more positive you are, the more you're gonna see positivity in other things, and it's gonna be a feedback loop. Likewise with negativity. And there's even truth to seeing like how you have inner confidence and you have everything that you need as like a sovereign soul in a human body. That's all well and good and shit, but like you have to also do stuff on this planet with this economy. And so the options that these people inevitably fall into, and I don't think they realize this that much, they fall into these like spiritual energetic pyramid schemes where they're just like, life is great because they're getting all these fucking views and they get paid to say that life is great and that anyone can do it. And so they're like, they spread that information. But what's actually happening is they're just like taking advantage of these desperate people. And then some of them, you know, it seems to work out for some of them. Most of them it fails and they fall on their head and realize, oh, I just spent all this money on this person who can't help me at all. They're not going to change the economy. Yeah, most of them, they realize they, oh, fucked up, or wasted my time and money on this concept. But some of them, they fall into it just like the original person did, because that original person wasn't actually the original person. They were just falling in line with the beliefs of someone else before them. And that's how this stuff is. I mean, that spreads too, just like positivity. Like delusions, they spread just as quickly and easily. I know it's like there's still that merit though to being positive, and not just being positive for the sake of positive, but tapping into this abundance within. I still think there's merit to that. It's amazing to think that any and all of us could get paid to just do what we love and what inherently comes out of us. Like, there are times for sure when an artist makes a breakthrough and becomes viral. Like any mainstream media artist you can think of, they started out as like a regular person, I think in most cases at least, where there was like this time when it wasn't sure how their life was going to unfold and they could have taken a totally different path. Like Tom Morello, he could have been a political scientist. He did go to school for that, so he comments on stuff going on in politics a lot. But yeah, any artist that you can think of, like they tapped into this thing that was already there that you can't quite even say you own it. Like you're just tapping into source or God or divine inspiration, and then it just flows through you, and then people get lucky in this economy and it takes off. But the idea that like we could all do that in this economy is like crazy. It's fucking crazy. Because that's not how this economy works. That's how things should work. And that's how, if we lived in a resource-based economy, like that totally could happen. And I'd be like, hey, that's awesome that all these people are getting on like YouTube or whatever it may be. Because YouTube is a corporation that exists in this economy, but in the future it could be, I don't know, just like the interface. You call it, don't put a brand on it. Just call it for what it is, social media interface. I don't know. YouTube is pretty close to like what I think it would be called. That was smart marketing calling it YouTube. But anyway, I just think they're doing everyone a disservice by not taking it further and be like, okay, yes, we have this natural abundance within us, and tapping into that is very useful and helpful, but recognizing that that only goes so far in the real world, and then maybe we can try to change things in the real world to reflect that inner thing. Like, is that not like what we've been doing for millennia? And yet they just get on there and be like, no, you can just do whatever you love to do. It doesn't even require effort. It's just like this natural thing. And I'm like, dude, yes, that's natural, but like the world we live in is not natural. And so there's this incongruence that we have to constantly work through. And it just kind of sucks, and it's sad that this is happening. These people are taking advantage and doing this unconscious pyramid scheme, thinking they're helping awaken humanity when really they're just pulling in suckers. And I never want to do that. Like, I think we've had enough of that shit. Have we not? Pyramid schemes and people taking advantage of us? Like, aren't we sick to death of that shit? I know I am. So I never want to do that to other people. A lot of people, they go like two different options when they've gone through some struggles. It's like either they think that everyone else should struggle the way they did, which is shitty. And that's why so many people are rejecting the idea of like universal basic income, or actually more importantly, or more relevantly, more applicably, debt forgiveness. Because people are like, I fucking slaved away paying off my debts, so I don't want other people that just have them paid off for free. But like, if you struggled that much and you know what that experience was like, why are you trying to wish it on other people? Yes, you struggled and that's shitty, and then you should not have had to struggle. However, do you want to therefore have more compassion for others, or project the struggle onto more people? I want to be in touch with the wisdom that knows that in order to create a better world, we have to let go of the old one and still be discerning and be very diligent to still practice the discernment of recognizing facts versus lies and mistruths and misinformation and delusions versus reality. And this is yet another thing that it would just be totally irrelevant pretty much in a resource-based economy, or at least whatever is not capitalism, whatever is a system that doesn't put money above literally everything else that is important in life. Like, it would still matter if there was a movement in a resource-based economy of people that spread like what they think is like this totally positive and innocent thing, but is kind of a pyramid scheme-ish. Like, that would still be something that we'd want to educate those folks on, but it wouldn't have as much impact, because currently it's like you might be like struggling to pay the bills, and you see these guys, and then you want to take their 6 weeks course, and it's like $1,000, and then you don't, or you think you get something out of it, and you think your life has changed, but then you're starting to, I don't know, distance yourself from loved ones. You're starting to cut ties with people because they don't vibe with you, but what you're really doing is like this toxic positivity thing, and it's just ugh. But yeah, the more I come sit here and complain about that movement, or really anything, the more I'm feeding into like negative energies, and I get that too. So it's a fucking really hard fine line to walk, and we're all just doing our best at the end of the day. I think there's no real reason to really fight with anybody about much of anything. Hey, maybe I'm wrong about all this conscious co-creator stuff. It's just like there's a spectrum to it. I think there's actually a way to be a conscious creator and exercise discernment. And again, if everyone's doing their best, then the people that are in this movement are no different. They're not excluded from that. So it may just be a matter of slowly people are going to realize the message that I'm trying to share in this video. And that's just my stage of things. Like, there's many other things that I'm behind on for sure, that other people would just get right away, or just have lived experience that taught them lessons that I have not learned yet myself. And that might include like, make sure your camera has you centered or whatever, and any infinite number of other things. But I am envious, actually. I'm very envious of the fact that these people can, like, if this is all they do is just like film themselves for 10 minutes a day, or maybe an hour a day, and then they get like thousands of views on their YouTube channel, and then they get, I don't know, whatever that comes out to in AdSense revenue. They might be getting like 6 figures a year. Just pull out their phone, film for 10 minutes. Maybe they spend an hour on it a day, like 50 minutes thinking about what they're going to say, writing down some bullet points, and then filming for 10. And then that's it. It's easy because it's just whatever comes out of them. And they don't have to sit there and think about all their life choices, and they don't have to put in grueling hours or anything. I wish they would think about their life choices a little bit more, like as I've been kind of alluding to. When you have that kind of a following, I think you have a responsibility. But that's just my take on it. Again, I'm projecting again, and I apologize. That's just how I want to be if I ever get that kind of a following. I want to make damn sure that like I'm being as ethical as I can and responsible as I can about the message that I'm putting out. But yeah, I'm totally jealous. I've actually been thinking about starting a GoFundMe page for myself, because I have neck arthritis, I have emotional dysregulation, self-diagnosed autism and ADHD, I have PTSD, and now I have a broken foot, and I have less than $1,000 in my bank account. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, and it seems like life just keeps beating me up. And I have the self-awareness to realize that could be a shadow part of me that's refusing this conscious creator stuff, that's just really resisting it. And even though it's kind of like you can't resist it, either you're creating goodness or negativity, and Either you're attracting positive experiences or negative ones. I don't know. I kind of like the middle ground of where you just acknowledge that you actually don't know. There's just so much information that we know that we don't know, and then there's way, way more that we don't know that we don't know. And it's just, but then again, how do you know that? I don't know. But I like the middle ground. This is just where I'm at right now, and it's rough, and it's I'm struggling a lot. I really am. So like if you're drawn to positivity, if you want to be uplifted, then yeah, I guess it makes sense to go to those other YouTubers. I want to get there eventually. I know it's still a lot of work, a lot of inner work that I need to do, including maybe getting past this idea that money is evil or whatever. Logically, I know that it's just a neutral thing, but also logically, I know that like we as a society and this economy that we live in, all these institutions, they make it a thing. They make it, the way that we use it is very harmful. But anyway, more on that and plenty of other videos. You know, it'd be really cool if we could meet halfway. Like if people would give me some money for a change, and I would give them some, it's not as much as like these gurus, but I think there's more truth to what I'm saying. So I'm gonna keep putting that intention out into the universe and hope one of these fucking days it comes back and I get more than a couple of views here and there. It's my intention, I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with even better content as I evolve and improve. If it feels right, consider leaving a comment. I'd be happy to read any questions or topic requests you may have. But whatever you do, please take care of yourself. As Desmond Tutu said, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together."